Hey, welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. My name is Salvador Briggman. On the channel, we talk about crowdfunding, and I've been covering the industry since 2012. So I love talking about crowdfunding. I am so passionate about getting you the funding that you deserve for your business projects, for your creative projects, for your personal causes and personal fundraisers and nonprofit organizations. This is a passion of mine. And today I had to share kind of a heart-wrenching bit of news. And that's the fact that Facebook, since their foray into personal crowdfunding campaigns, unfortunately, they have announced that they're going to be shutting down their operations. So what does this mean for you? What are some other alternative platforms? What are some advice and tips that I have for people that are looking to raise money successfully with a personal crowdfunding campaign? I'm going to be talking about that on this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you have been liking some of my other videos, give me a thumbs up if you enjoy this content, and it's coming up right after this. Okay, man, I have been missing you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are also new to this channel, so I love to talk on this channel, obviously, about crowdfunding. And I think personal crowdfunding is actually one of the biggest pieces of the pie when it comes to online fundraising. So by personal crowdfunding, usually they're like, Sal, what the heck are you talking about? Personal crowdfunding, right? This is what I mean when people are raising money for charitable reasons or for themselves or for a beneficiary. So for example, if you're trying to raise money for volunteer-related expenses, for travel costs, for other things when it comes to medical bills, memorial funds. Even I think honeymoons, for example, would be a great example of raising money for a personal cause and doing that in sort of the crowdfunding fashion. And there's sort of niche websites out there for all of these types of raises. And I've been covering that obviously a lot on this channel, but one of the big major pieces of news I want to talk about in this video is the fact that Facebook, unfortunately, is doing away with personal crowdfunding campaigns. So if you've been seeing personal fundraising campaigns still pop up on your feed, that's because personal fundraisers, first of all, you can still donate to personal fundraising campaigns. We're gonna have a bit of news kind of flash up on screen so you can sort of read along with me. You can still donate to personal fundraising campaigns on Facebook. The payouts to beneficiaries are still happening for personal fundraising campaigns. I'll talk about beneficiaries a little bit later in this video. However, as of October 31st, 2022, you can no longer create new campaigns on Facebook. And obviously I'm making this video at a further point in time. Now, a very important asterisk, right? This is so incredibly important. If you are a nonprofit organization, you can still raise money on Facebook. And actually this year, I'm having tons of videos come out for nonprofit crowdfunding, peer-to-peer fundraising, and ways to actually go about doing that, as well as some great tutorial videos when it comes to raising money for a nonprofit organization on Facebook. So if you haven't yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you do want more information on that and you are a nonprofit organization, you're thinking of starting a nonprofit, or you are volunteer for a nonprofit and you want to share some good information and knowledge with them, make sure you subscribe for that content in the future. So for those of you out there that have a cause, have a need, have been looking to do a personal crowdfunding campaign on Facebook, and now you've discovered you can't do it, what the heck are you gonna do? Because you obviously need these funds and you wanna actually do it. You have that fire in the belly, you have that hunger to actually go out there and to try this out. What the heck are you gonna do now? So first of all, some of my thoughts on this, I think that when it comes to the personal crowdfunding niche, there's really one major dominating, I would almost say monopoly website, right? When it comes to personal crowdfunding. And I think Facebook is actually doing a great job in offering some different alternatives, but like many of the Facebook products that we've seen over the years, they tend to try it out, and if it doesn't instantly work well, or they just don't like the numbers, they're gonna start to phase it out over time. And unfortunately, that also happened with personal crowdfunding campaigns on Facebook. And frankly, this is one of the reasons that I don't trust Facebook either. While I'm a marketer and I love to use them for marketing and I run Facebook ad campaigns, all that kind of stuff, I personally don't really like Facebook very much. I prefer other platforms. Don't tell anyone I said that. Okay, so the biggest major competitor when it comes to Facebook is going to be GoFundMe.com. So if you're not familiar with GoFundMe, it is another website which you can use to run charitable crowdfunding campaigns. So these are campaigns, again, for the reasons that I mentioned before, for example, travel costs, memorial funds, medical bills, a personal need of some kind. I've covered some great, incredible personal crowdfunding campaigns, for example, for businesses as well, where maybe their business burns down, or they had a restaurant that was so popular and there was a flood that happened and it just completely ruined their entire business, and they were trying to raise money for that, and they actually got a ton of funding from the actual community to rehab that restaurant, to renovate it, to make it look as new. So there are so many reasons why you could actually do personal crowdfunding campaigns, as well as raise money to take a course, raise money for education related bills. We've had so many people as well, for example, will raise money because they're trying to become a doctor in maybe a region that isn't so popular, right? And they're really going back to maybe their hometown, which is maybe not so great of an area, in order to actually help the overall society there and sort of local community. So the first takeaway that you should have is that you should go first and look at GoFundMe and some of the GoFundMe alternatives. And I will link up down below a link to a couple of different websites which you can actually go into. Want to take all the stress out of fulfilling your Kickstarter rewards? Fulfillrite is the turnkey solution that puts product delivery on autopilot. The Top Campaigns uses trusted high-tech provider to store, package, and ship their products. Focus on growing your business. Leave shipping to the experts. Don't wait. Get a custom quote from Fulfillrite today. Link in the description. But the other thing that you should really keep in mind is that it's not just about launching a new crowdfunding campaign on another website. It would be so great if it was that simple. It's about understanding why people in the first place actually take action. Why do they donate? How can you actually promote your campaign? How can you get your campaign to go viral? How can you get media attention? I've covered some campaigns on this channel, and I'll link to one down below, that have gotten insane levels of media attention for their personal crowdfunding campaign. So the first time that you do one of these campaigns is kind of just like ready, fire, go, right? It's like ready, fire, aim. You don't really know what you're doing. You're just kind of shooting from the hip. You're trying it out. Maybe you raised a little bit of capital, raised a little bit of funding from your friends and family, but you're like, I could have probably planned it out a little bit better. So if you're kind of in that frame of thinking, you haven't really thought about a strategy when it comes to the marketing, when it comes to actually assembling a great looking campaign page, man, dive into my channel because I have so many great videos out there on that. And I have even put all of my valuable wisdom, knowledge, tactics, strategy, golden nuggets into a slim volume called Crowdfunding Personal Expenses. This is a book that many people have said very nice things about on Amazon. It's also available on Audible. There's some great places to really sink your teeth into that and really understand what goes into one of these campaigns. In addition, I also have a free GoFundMe course, which I will be linking to down below. So the last thing I want to mention in this video are some tips and tricks and things that I want to go through for those of you out there that were looking to do a personal crowdfunding campaign on Facebook. And now that you can, what are some of the things you should know about doing this maybe on another platform? So the first thing you should be looking for with other platforms are the fees in which they charge. Not every platform is created equal. One of the great things obviously about nonprofit fundraisers on Facebook is that there are no fees, right? So really be understanding and really do a little bit of your own due diligence and research into what are the fees that different platforms are charging. For example, GoFundMe started off with a 5% fee model, and over the course of their lifetime, they actually shift to a different model where instead of charging a fee to the campaign creators, they ask your donors, the people that are donating to your campaign, they ask them for a donation to their actual platform, right? Which is GoFundMe. So they kind of shifted the model there, but other websites that are out there maintain that original model. And there are also other ways in which they charge fees when it comes to that. And also be aware of payment processing. The other tip that I have for you is to be thinking about, do I really need to be running this campaign myself only, or should I assemble a crowdfunding street team? Now, a street team, that sounds really cool, almost like you got like a little gang or something like that, right? And you're like the mafia. But really what I mean by street team is just by having a couple of people that are on your side that are willing to help you actually share this campaign on social media. So while GoFundMe is, a huge site, and Facebook is obviously a massive site, the fact that now Facebook fundraisers are ending, it doesn't change the fact that the vast majority of campaigns when it comes to GoFundMe are being shared on Facebook. That's a huge, a plethora, a huge avalanche of funding comes from Facebook because that's where you're connected with your friends and family. That's where it's very easy to share campaigns, but there are also other sources as well that I talk about in my book. So my next step, like I said, assemble a crowdfunding street team and really think about who else can help you run this campaign or raise money on your behalf. The last tip that I have for you, for those of you out there that are raising money for personal cause and those kinds of, expenses, is to think about also having a beneficiary or having someone else vouch for you, having someone else raise money on your behalf. Scientists, they've done studies on this, and actually if you have someone who's raising money on your behalf, they tend to raise more because almost there's that hidden element of social proof, which I talk about in my marketing, which causes people to actually donate to strangers or people that they've never met before. So there are way more tips, tricks, tactics that go beyond the scope of this video, and you can check some of those out for free in my free GoFundMe course down below. I also have a great book out there, Crowdfunding Personal Expenses. And for those of you that are really serious, like you want access to just kind of all the templates, the know-how, exactly the plug and play playbook when it comes to GoFundMe. You don't want to do very much work and you just want to accelerate this thing and you're willing to make a little bit of an investment, I also have the GoFundMe cash machine, which I think is an extremely powerful way to set the foundation for a great GoFundMe campaign that actually produces results. But if nothing else, take a second, go and check out more free videos I got out there on YouTube. Would love to have your appreciation by giving me a thumbs up no matter where you are in the world, wherever you are in the United States. Thank you so much. And whatever it is that you're trying to raise money for, I hope that you are successful. And I also hope that you show your support as well. Maybe come back on my podcast or write me, email me your story. I love to hear reader stories in that way. My name is Salvador Briggman. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.